Before you move on, before you rush ahead without pausing, hear me clearly. You've asked for this. In your quiet moments, you cried out to me. In your pain and frustration, you called upon my name, seeking clarity, desperately wanting an answer, a sign that I was listening. I know how you felt, the worry that your finances will never stretch far enough, the fear for your future, the feeling that maybe there's no way out, and the thought that perhaps this is your destiny, to struggle endlessly without making progress, to labor without seeing the fruits of your work. But today, I want you to hear me with an open heart. You are not forgotten. You are not left to face this alone. I, the Lord your God, am right here with you. I have seen every financial challenge you've endured, and today I come to proclaim that a new chapter is unfolding in your life. Today, I want to speak directly to you. Your financial breakthrough has already begun. It's no accident that you are hearing these words at this moment. It wasn't by chance that you arrived here. I've orchestrated every detail, aligned every circumstance, and guided your steps so that you would arrive at this very point. I knew that today you would need to hear this message. I knew that your heart was ready to receive it. I knew that you had reached a breaking point where you could no longer rely on your own strength and had no choice but to place your trust fully in me. And that's exactly what I've been waiting for you to trust me above your own resources, above your human abilities, above the fleeting solutions the world offers. What I have prepared for you is not temporary, not fragile, nor finite. What I have in store for you is the result of my boundless love and unmerited grace, a blessing that will not fade or be limited by circumstances. But before I reveal it to you, I need you to stop for a moment. Do not rush past this message. Do not dismiss it as just another word. I say this with both love and seriousness. This could be the final time I reach out to you in this way. Not because I have grown weary of you, but because this door I am opening may not always remain open. I need you to walk through it now, to open your heart fully and without hesitation, because what is to come will not only transform your finances, it will transform every aspect of your life. I am the God of abundance, the one who multiplies the little you have, the one who feeds the masses with what seems scarce. I am the one who creates pathways through the wilderness, who brings forth water in the driest of places. My word will not return void. When I make a promise, I fulfill it. I have never failed you, and I will not start now. The promise I give you today is this: I will teach you to live in my financial miracle, not as a fleeting relief, not as something temporary that comes and goes, but as a river of unending provision, like a constant spring that flows from my throne and meets every one of your needs. Before I ask anything of you, I want you to do something simple like this video. Not for the sake of vanity, not for numbers or recognition, but because every time you share this message, it reaches more of my children, transforms more lives, and starts multiplying more miracles. Be a part of this harvest. Be a part of what I am doing in the world, and bless others with what I am blessing you with. I know you are weary. I know the weight you carry. There are nights when you lie awake, your heart heavy, your mind racing with thoughts that won't quiet, your soul silently crying out for relief. You've hidden your tears to spare others from worry. You smiled on the outside, but deep within, you're barely holding it together. What you don't realize is how deeply I honor that quiet strength you've carried, the endurance you've shown when no one else was watching. And today, I want you to hear this. I'm not speaking to a crowd. Today I am speaking directly to you. Only you. This isn't for everyone. It's for the heart that has silently cried out, for the soul that is at its breaking point, for you. That feeling in your chest right now, that unexplainable urge to cry, that sudden shiver running through you, that mixture of peace and emotion, it's me reaching you. This moment is for you. It's me, it's my presence, I am here with you. I've seen everything, the times you felt abandoned, the moments when you knelt in despair and said you couldn't go on any longer. I heard you, whispering through your weakness, God, help me. And now, I come to speak the words your heart has been longing for. I am here to erase your debts, not only clearing what you owe, but blessing you with an amount beyond your wildest dreams. Not because you've earned it, not because you've been flawless, but because I am your Father. I love you deeply. I am compassionate toward you, and my grace stretches far beyond what you can comprehend. You didn't end up here by accident. I brought you to this place. This moment was carefully prepared for you. Don't turn away now, stay with me. Keep your heart open, because what I'm about to reveal will completely alter the course of your life. Listen closely now, share this word, like it, subscribe not out of mere impulse, but with intention. This message is not just for you. There are those around you who also need to hear that I am still God, that I am still providing, still restoring, and still honoring those who trust in me. You've cried too many tears over those bills, and you felt the sting of shame each time you had to say, I can't. You've questioned if it's all your fault, if I've forgotten about you, or if you're being punished. But hear me clearly. I do not punish my children with lack. That lack comes from the enemy, a seed of guilt planted to make you doubt my love. The truth is, you were pushed into circumstances you didn't choose. You were promised help and were let down. You trusted the wrong people, and when everything crumbled, it was only you and me left standing. But even when you thought you were on your own, I never left your side. I was there in the smallest details. It was I who made your limited resources stretch farther than you imagined. It was I who touched someone's heart to bless you, even though you never asked. It was I who kept your mind intact when you thought you would lose control. And now, listen closely, for the time of transformation has arrived. I am the God of justice, the God of restoration, and with all the authority of heaven, I speak to you today. I will wipe away your debts, and I will place into your hands an amount so great, it will silence those who have judged you. I am not talking about a small favor. I am speaking of a miracle of divine provision, a radical shift, a change so profound that only I can bring it to pass. This is because I love you, because you are mine, and because now is the time for you to step into the fullness of your destiny. So many times, you wondered if your prayers were just vanishing into the air. You questioned if your cries were reaching heaven, if my ears were closed to your pain, if my heart was far away. But the truth is, I have been with you in every moment, especially in those times when my presence felt farthest away. I was never indifferent to your suffering. I never turned my face when your tears fell in silence. I heard every unspoken sigh, every hidden longing, and I have followed you closely, even through the mistakes you thought were irreversible. My mercy has used even your failures as stepping stones on the path I have designed to bring you into a new life. Yes, there were moments when everything seemed to fall apart. Doors shut one after another. Opportunities disappeared right when you needed them most. People you relied on let you down, leaving you with broken promises, empty words, and a burden so heavy you didn't know how to carry it. You felt like you were paying a price that wasn't yours to pay. You wondered if it was worth holding on to faith, if there was anything good left for you. Yet here you stand, not because you've done everything right, but because I have held you, sustained you, and carried your soul through the storm. I've seen how you held on to your belief when everything around you seemed to argue against it. I've witnessed your struggle to remain calm when everything inside you was falling apart. You fought to keep hope alive, even in the darkest nights when the weight of the pain made it impossible to see anything ahead. But in those very moments, my spirit was surrounding you, even though you couldn't sense it. My grace was covering you, even though you couldn't recognize it, and every tear you shed was collected by me. Not one was forgotten. Each tear carries an eternal significance that I am now transforming into a blessing. There are things you didn't understand, and even now, there are things that remain unclear. There are losses that have cut deeper than anyone could ever know, betrayals that have left scars on your heart. But in the midst of it all, I was working. I didn't walk away from you. I didn't forget you. And I didn't allow the enemy to have the final say. What the enemy meant for your destruction, I am now using to lay the foundation for a new beginning. Not everything you've gone through was without purpose. Nothing you lost was truly gone. Everything has been intricately woven together by my hands with a higher purpose. And now, I am beginning to reveal the reasons why. You have carried the weight of debts, the fear of not being able to meet even the most basic needs, the shame of having to admit that you're struggling, that you don't have enough. You've wanted to help others, but your own struggles have left you feeling helpless, and that has broken your heart not out of selfishness, but because your true desire has always been to live freely, to give with joy, and to never have to hide your needs. Today, I want to tell you that this pressure is coming to an end. You were never meant to live under this burden forever. You were not created to merely survive with just enough, to constantly drag yourself in fear of every expense. I am raising up a new kind of provision for you, one that will not be temporary, one that will not be conditioned by the world's economy. My resources are endless. My provision is not bound by the world's systems. When I open the heavens, no power or person can shut them. And that is what is about to happen. I am opening the heavens over your life. I am preparing sources of income you haven't even imagined, divine connections that you haven't even thought of, solutions that you didn't expect, and all of it will be clear. There will be no doubt in your heart that it was I who made it happen, because when I move, I do so in a way that magnifies my name and brings you restoration, not because you've earned it or done everything perfectly, but because my love for you far exceeds your shortcomings. Today is the day to release the mindset of scarcity, the voice that has told you that you can't, that you're unworthy, that you don't have enough. That mindset was born from years of struggle, from words that spoke failure, and from painful experiences, but it was never my design for you. I did not create you to live in limitation, to be bound by fear or anxiety. I created you to walk with confidence, to live with the certainty that I am your provider. I don't want you to restrict yourself any longer. I don't want you to think that your life is destined to repeat cycles of financial distress. I am breaking that cycle now, and with this transformation comes a new responsibility. Because what I'm about to give you isn't just for you, it is for those around you as well. I am positioning you to be a light in the midst of others' need, to use your hands as channels of my blessing, so others can see through you that I am faithful. Just as you were once in need, you will now be in a position to provide, and you will know without a doubt that everything comes from me. My blessing adds no sorrow, only purpose. When I give, I do so with generosity and with an eternal purpose. For too long, you've watched others prosper while you felt stuck, as though favor was distant, as if doors opened for everyone else but you. You've worked tirelessly, made sacrifices that no one else saw, and still, the fruits of your labor seem delayed. You celebrated the success of others while hiding your own frustration, wondering if you would ever experience the same. You didn't envy them, but the sting of seeing your efforts go unrewarded was real. I know how deeply you've longed for tangible change, not just in your heart or your spirit, but a real shift in your daily life. You long for stability, rest, and a break from the constant struggle. And though you held on to hope, the passing time began to wear you down. You started to accept the little you had, not because it was enough, but because you thought there was nothing more to expect. But in my kingdom, scarcity does not exist, and I never intended for my children to settle for lack. What I've prepared for you is not a life of mere survival. It is a life of abundance, a life where provision flows freely and bears my mark of divine purpose. What you are about to receive is far beyond a simple improvement. It is the unfolding of my glory in your life that will bring peace where there was once anxiety, clarity where there was confusion, and confidence where there was doubt. This is not just an economic shift. It is a profound restoration of your dignity, your identity, and your self-assurance. You are not defined by your current lack, but by the one who called you. I am the one who gives you your name, your worth, and your purpose. Your destiny is not determined by the state of your bank account, but by my eternal plan, which positions you exactly where you need to be. There are invisible structures that have held you in a place of limitation, false ideas, limiting beliefs, and mental agreements you unknowingly accepted over time. These were formed by past pain, repeated failures, and words spoken to you in moments of vulnerability. Those structures are being dismantled right now. I am renewing your mind, clearing out every thought that stands in opposition to my truth. You do not need to fear abundance. It is not a sin to receive abundantly when it is my hand that gives it. What matters is not how much you have, but who directs your heart in the midst of that blessing. I am preparing you to manage the abundance that is coming, and though the provision will be great, it is the purpose behind it that will be even greater. I am not releasing these resources so that you can simply live in comfort. I am giving them so that you can become a living testimony of what I can do with a surrendered heart. You are being raised up to tell a story of transformation that will serve as a sign to many. People who know you now, in your current state, will not recognize you later, because what I will do will be so evident, so remarkable, that it will be undeniable. It will bring glory to my name. You will no longer feel the need to justify your struggles or hide your journey. You will not remain silent when others speak of prosperity, feeling as though you have been excluded from that conversation, because what I am about to do will serve as the living proof that I do not forget, that my timing is flawless, and that I always reward those who endure in faith. Though it has been refined through trials, what you have waited for in tears, you will now receive with honor. Those who thought your story would end in defeat will witness with their own eyes how I lift you up and grant you a place at my table. This is not a fleeting emotional promise or just another motivational speech. It is a spiritual reality that I am bringing to life right now. The time has come when heaven and earth align in favor of your purpose. The moment has arrived when my faithfulness is not only spoken, but demonstrated through actions, through tangible provision, through resources that arrive with no logical explanation, yet carry with them a divine and eternal purpose. And when you see it, there will be no question in your heart. It will be clear that it was my hand at work. There will be no room for doubt, no confusion, only a profound certainty that I was with you all along, orchestrating this answer while you only saw silence. Even if others question, criticize, or try to explain it away, you will know the truth. You will understand that it wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't based on your own efforts. It was divine intervention, the fulfillment of a promise that was written in my heart for you long before you were born. And when that day arrives, when you receive what I am now declaring over you, your heart will overflow not with pride, but with gratitude. Your first instinct will not be to keep it to yourself, but to share, because you will know that it is not just for you. It wasn't your doing. It was I who made it happen, out of my love for you. There are things that cannot be perceived with natural eyes. There are movements in the spiritual realm that take place first before they become visible in the physical world. What many don't know, and what you may not have fully realized yet, is that right now, cycles that have held you captive for years are being broken. What is coming isn't just improvement, it's complete liberation from the invisible barriers that have hindered your progress. I am not just providing for you, I am restoring your authority. I am repositioning you into the rightful place I have designed for you. Far too much time has been lost, held down by circumstances that seemed insurmountable, forcing you to make decisions out of fear, pressure, and scarcity. You have been silent when you wanted to speak, held back when you needed to receive. Each of those sacrifices was not unnoticed. Every act of obedience, even in the midst of lack, was seen from my throne. You were never forgotten. I have been watching over you as a loving father, waiting for the perfect moment to intervene, and that moment is now. I am not responding out of impulse, nor am I reacting to your suffering as if it were something unfamiliar to me. From the very beginning, all of this had been part of a carefully crafted plan to prepare you not to punish, but to refine your character. Not to break you, but to make you unshakable. What I am about to place in your hands is far from ordinary. I am not speaking of a temporary financial boost or a fleeting season of peace. I am speaking of something eternal, an inheritance, a position, a source of strength that carries my authority. What you are about to receive will not come with strings attached. It will not be a trap disguised as a blessing. I will not give you provisions that come with hidden costs or conditions. You won't have to sacrifice your peace or compromise your integrity. What I give freely, clean, and full of purpose, and it will arrive without sorrow, without anxiety, and without the fear of losing it all. It is not something you earn through your own efforts. It is a gift straight from my heart, lined perfectly with my will. Once you receive it, your perspective will shift entirely. What once seemed unattainable will become natural to you. The fears that once held you captive will lose their power, and while the provision I bring will be great, the discernment I am about to awaken in you will be even greater. You will develop the ability to discern opportunities that come from me and recognize the doors that I have not opened for you. You will no longer walk driven by need. You will walk in my wisdom. You will no longer make decisions from a place of desperation, but from a place of divine direction, because my Spirit will lead you with such clarity that you will know exactly what to do, when to act, and with whom to move forward. This guidance will become your greatest treasure, more valuable than the provision itself. Do not be content with merely seeing results. Seek my presence throughout the journey, because it is in walking closely with me where you will truly discover your purpose. You are about to be genuinely transformed. It's not just about receiving financial blessings. It's about receiving vision to create, to plant, to restore what once seemed lost. I am going to awaken ideas that were long buried, and I will bring life back to dreams you thought were dead. These dreams will not only come alive, but they will be accompanied by the resources to bring them to fruition, because I will never give you vision without provision, and I will never give you a burden without also equipping you to carry it. Do not allow the fear of past failures to stain what I am about to release. Do not compare the new things I'm doing with the old. Do not carry your broken experiences into this new chapter. What I am doing in your life is entirely new, unprecedented, and beyond anything you've experienced before. I am not just restoring you to where you were before you stumbled. I am raising you up higher than you have ever been. When I restore, I do not do it in the same way I restore with overflow. I don't return what was lost simply as it was. I return it multiplied. You won't just recover what you've lost. You will also receive what once seemed impossible. What is coming isn't just to meet your needs. It is to open new doors, to lift others alongside you, and to build from a place of abundance. And the most powerful part is this: it won't be temporary. It won't be a fleeting season filled with excitement that ends in exhaustion. It will be a lasting manifestation of my faithfulness because it has been tested. Even though you stumbled, you lifted your eyes again. When everyone expected you to retreat, you pressed on. Now, it's my turn to respond to you in a way only I can, with justice, grace, and power. You have endured seasons where everything seemed barren. You walked through days when nothing grew, when doors closed before you could even knock, when opportunities passed by as if they didn't notice you. In the midst of that quiet, repetitive routine, there were times when you felt unseen, not because you lacked value, but because you were carrying burdens that seemed too heavy for your strength to bear. Still, you pressed on. You didn't completely give up. There was something inside you, the spark of my spirit, that kept you believing, even when everything around you invited you to surrender. I've seen how hard you fought to hold on to hope, even when there were no signs of change. I've witnessed you raise your hands in worship when there was no apparent reason to praise. I've watched you walk in faith, despite the pain of each step, and every single one of those actions was more powerful than you realize. I don't measure faith by what is visible. I measure it by the faithfulness shown in the silence. And you have been faithful, even when you doubted whether your prayers were reaching me. Now, I am here to tell you that yes, your prayers were heard. Yes, you were seen. Yes, you were upheld by a grace that never abandoned you, even when it felt like you were walking alone. Now, a new season begins, not because the calendar has changed, but because I have shifted the atmosphere around you. I have moved the invisible in your favor. The walls that once felt impenetrable are starting to crumble, and the barriers that hindered your progress are being torn down, piece by piece, not by human plans, but by my divine power. Here are promises that manifest when all human plans run out, when there is no backup, when resources seem to have dried up. It is in those moments when everything seems impossible that my glory is revealed in its fullness. And this is your moment. You will begin to notice changes that you never sought, breakthroughs you never planned for, connections you never imagined. You'll wonder how everything came together so swiftly. But deep within, you will know that it was me who made it happen. I opened the doors. I removed the obstacles, and I created room where there seemed to be none, not because you were the most qualified, but because you were the most willing. And that is what I honor, a heart that surrenders, not in defeat, but to make room for me to move. Your surrender wasn't a sign of weakness, it was an invitation. You allowed me to work, And now you will see the fruits of what happens when I take control,